Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Cora, and today we're going to be doing some wall decor. So I've been working on my master bedroom, and if you've been following along on the series, you know that I am on part 3, which is, of course, the decoration part. Now, I do need to redo that dresser. I also need to redo those nightstands. I'm going to do that in a different video, the next one on this series, which is going to be like a marble and granite effect because we're reaching our 2-year anniversary on that first one that I uploaded, which you guys seem to really love. And I'm going to be redoing and revamping, giving that a whole new zhuzh style, and then I'm going to be putting epoxy on there. I also need to put epoxy on my desk that's in there, so I figured I would do both of those in one sitting and answer some epoxy questions for you guys also, because I've been getting a lot more on my channel lately. So I figured I will throw that all in one video. So on this video today, we're going to be working on my wall decor. So first I need to go and search through all my bins and find out what I already have on hand. I know I have some canvases and we're going to be making some canvas wall decor there. I already started working on a small sampling piece and I'll show you guys that on Instagram. So if you guys follow me there, you can go check that out. I also want to let you guys know that I was inspired by Z Gallery and Pinterest, and so I will make sure to throw in a little feed somewhere over here or here, wherever, and make sure that I show you guys and credit where the original inspiration is coming from. I just can't afford that kind of stuff. I mean, priorities, people. You know, this is like on a budget, okay? That's what we're doing here today. We're gonna remake, recreate, and just save some money. You know, I also figured I could customize it this way and use the colors and the schemes that I wanted that go with my aesthetic, because you can't always find that in the stores. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I also found some of these cool metallic pens with this haul that I picked up at Dollar General. So I will throw that in for you guys and show you what all I picked up. So hopefully I can use most of that in this here. So if you're wondering where I got some of the supplies that I'm using for this project, I'll be sure to try to throw in where it came from, what it is, and show you guys in some sort of little pop-up screen thingy, whatever. Hopefully this kind of wraps it all up and makes it look pretty cohesive and turns out great. So yeah, stay tuned and let's see if this turns out to be a Pinterest win or a Pinterest fail. Let's go ahead and move on into the video, guys. So I showed you my haul of the stuff that I was just pulling out of bins that I already had. So I went ahead and separated it here. I have my canvases. I have these, which were from my wedding, which I thought would just be a cute way to incorporate them on the wall. Then I was pulling these out, which I intentionally wanted to use because I like the colors, but one of them is broken. And I recalled, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can totally hot glue that one. If you've seen my laundry room video, you know I'm a fan of just, boom, keep on using it. But I also have these. So I thought these might be a fun way to incorporate into the room too. It kind of ties in some of the black color, the more masculine tones. And then I could also kind of use a couple of them to go over by the gym area to kind of tie it all in and make it cohesive. Then I went by the dollar store or the Dollar General and I picked up a couple of things. I needed a new hot glue gun and I wanted to get kind of a bigger size one because I've been using a mini one and it's just a pain in the butt. So I picked those up. I picked up these stencils, which I think are pretty cool. If you see, yeah, there's all of those in there from the Dollar General. It's only a couple bucks. And yeah, I thought that was the neatest thing. I also picked up some of these metallic markers, which are super pretty. And then these, I don't know what I'm gonna use these for. I just thought they were cool and cheap, and I figured I could even use them to line cabinets or something in the bathroom. I don't know, but I thought they would be fun. Something else I picked up at, I think, Target or something on clearance for, I think it was like $4 or $6. I know it wasn't more than that. But yeah, I thought they were really super cute, and I love my natural plants, and it has the gold, and I'm really wanting to bring in kind of like the mixed metals, so I thought that would be cool. Yeah, so we've got a lot to do. Before we get started, I picked these up at Target. This was 23 bucks, I think, and these were like $16.99, which is a great deal. They're super cute. They're like these little, you know, drawers, whatever. So the plan is to kind of get all of this stuff that I've been storing here and some of the stuff in these bins organized into here. So before I get started on this project and all of the wall decor stuff that goes in the master bedroom, I have to get this stuff cleaned up so that I can fit in and out of here. You feel me? So yeah, I gotta do that real quick. Alright guys, so I've got this area kind of cleaned up, organized a little bit more, and this configuration is not going to stay like this. I just need to clean up the area so I can get access to my paints And then I also came across, while I was kind of cleaning up, some weird little things here that I picked up a while ago. So I thought I'll incorporate that somehow. I've got this, I don't know, maybe. And then some tissue paper because I want to give some texture to some of those canvases when I'm putting glitter and stuff on. I want some of it to have some texture, which, again, I'll show you in the picture. You'll know. And then I need to go to my bedroom and match and find out which paints and colors I want to incorporate. I know for sure I'll be using probably my favorite, silver lining, somewhere in there. I'll be putting some black in there, definitely some other grays, but I really want to incorporate some multicolor purple, like ombre type effect for that. And then I definitely need to get some metallic, like here I have my rose gold, I need to get my metallic silvers. What's that? Is that pearl? Yeah, that's pearl. So I need to, here we go, I've got sterling silver. So I'm going to incorporate some colors and stuff like that onto my canvases. And now we have a clean space to work, kinda. Anyways, at least I have all of my supplies available. All right, let's hop to it. So I've got this that my aunt got me for my birthday and I absolutely love it. It is a plant hanger and I want it to go in the bedroom somewhere, but I don't think I want to put any real natural plants in there because it is like a cave in our bedroom. We only have the 2 windows over by my vanity area, and so I'm not sure where I'm going to put this yet, but I thought I would put these flowers in it, the ones, you know, from the rest of the house that are kind of cohesive and go everywhere. Yeah, so I'm going to kind of zhuzh that up and get that ready. Show y'all something. Don't judge me, but here's my glitter jar. Yeah, so I've got plenty of glitter to work with. There's more down there falling out. Glitter, glitter everywhere. Anyway, so we're gonna take some glitter and pick out the colors that I want. I need a color to go with, you can see this kind of purple color, and then I like these silvers, and then we have these mixed metals in here like this, and then we see this blue tone here. This, I need to epoxy this top, but I want this blue tone also to kind of be incorporated into it. And then I haven't forgotten, yes, we need to redo these dreaded nightstands and dressers, but it's a task, okay? It's not easy. I'm not looking forward to it. I've got here my little sample piece. This is what I'm going to use that for. I'm going to practice on that. And then I'm going to take this tissue paper here and I'm going to Mod Podge it on there with the Mod Podge I got from the dollar spot section at Target. I have lots of those. So I'm going to Mod Podge that to there, let that dry, and then I'm going to put a base coat of white over that. Then I have this iridescent white, which is a nice pearly finish. And I'm going to put that all over the whole thing, and then I'm going to attempt to ombre in this silver color, and I might even blend or mix in some of this lavender here, this chalk paint stuff I got at Walmart. So I'm going to see how that comes out, and then if that is looking good with the texture, I'm going to add some of this purplish looking glitter that I mixed. So shockingly, I decided to go against the glitter. I know, but what I decided against it for is because I didn't want any shedding or fallout to happen, because this is going on a wall where there is a lot of frequent traffic, and so I figure with even if the kids were to bang or if they were to fall off the wall or something, they're just canvases, I didn't want a big mess. So no glitter, but let's go ahead and get started into the real project with the 4 canvases, and then there's the wooden key at the end, and then there's a couple of extra little pieces, and then we're going to throw it all up together. So my first canvas, I really want a lot of texture to it. So what I'm going to be doing here is mixing together some glue and water. You can also use Mod Podge, which you can get at like the dollar section at Target. Sometimes they have the little mini ones, or you can get it at any of your craft stores. But glue and water works just fine. Taking it back to kindergarten, people. Hey guys, so I'm showing you this part here because sometimes I do make mistakes and I just rush into things. Even though I did a sample piece last night and I knew that I needed to wet my canvas first, I didn't, and I went ahead and I did all this work and I taped it on, and then this happened. So as you just saw, what I forgot to do was wet the canvas before I applied the tissue paper. You really want to do that because you'll get bubbling and the tissue paper won't have anything to adhere to. So I went back and I did that. And you can readjust this a couple of times. I wrinkled the paper because I really wanted those wrinkles to give me those ridges, because I want as many ridges or high ends or marks or peaks or whatever, because I'm going to go over it with that silver pen later. And so that's what my goal here is. I want wrinkles. Wrinkles are good. Now, as you can see here, I clearly don't know what I'm doing. I am just adding some of this gluey water in tissue paper and making as many wrinkles as possible. So if you think that there is a technique or a special way I'm doing or going about this, nope. I am literally, you could let your kids do this for you. Honestly, I should have let all my kids prep all of these boards for me. It would have saved me the time and the frustration, and they would have had masterpieces, guaranteed. So I promise this is going to be the longest, or one that takes the longest to prepare. The others will kind of fly by, but I'm including this because I wanted to show you that it took me some time to kind of figure it out and get it the way I wanted, and even then I screwed it up. I ended up ripping a hole in it, and after all of the hard work that I did, I ended up having to patch it, which actually worked out. So sometimes it's a blessing in disguise when we have our mistakes, you know, because we end up finding a way to overcome them. And look, I fixed it and I liked it. I added more and it worked out even better. So that is why I included such a long clip on this particular piece, but the rest are about to fly by. The second canvas, all you're going to need to do is get your hot glue gun and take some streaks and just go directly across in whatever diagonal direction that you want. You could zigzag it, do whatever you desire. I tried to go from one end all the way to the other, so that way you don't get kind of like a loop in the middle of your canvas, and then you're going to want to cut off any of the excess, and then you can also hot glue down any of your little flyaways so that it kind of looks more professional and doesn't look amateur. I like to use press and seal to store my paints. It stores very well and keeps it lasting quite a while. For the third canvas, I'm just coloring this one. I wanted to get that navy bluish color, that midnight blue color tone that is in my bedroom on that desk. So I'm mixing together some blue, some sterling silver, and then I'm going to add a little bit of black to give it that dark depth that I want. I'm going to cover this canvas, and then I'm going to use the same blue throughout the rest of my canvases. Canvas number 4, I'm doing a kind of an acrylic pour, except this one I'm using the leftover glue water to dilute my paints to make them a little bit more liquidy. I wish I had added a little bit more water or even some diluting agent to this, but I am literally just using what I have. I'm using all of the paint colors that I've used throughout the other canvases, diluting them a little bit,
I'm making that same blue, midnight blue color with the silver, the blue, and the black. And I'm at the purples, I've got the white, and then I've got that iridescent pearl color going through here. So I'm going to just do like an acrylic pour type thing and then move the canvas around until I get a desired look. Some of my favorite videos to watch are acrylic pours, so for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to be quiet and let you just watch this part.
Okay, so we're gonna start out by literally just kind of pouring some of this lavender over this bottom half here. It does soak up quite a bit. You could put like a base coat of white if you want to save some paint. I should have, but didn't, so this is where we are. We want this to get nice and hard because the top parts, these ridges, once they get nice and crunchy and hard and rigid, that's the part that we're going to go over and very finely cover with the silver part. Now, next I'm going to squirt on this half this iridescent white and a little bit of just regular white to help cover it a little. And then I'm going to I wish YouTube hadn't like demonetized music and stuff, man. This would be a nice time to jam out. Alright, now I'm starting to blend.
For this canvas, I just really wanted full coverage, so I got in between all of the nooks and crannies, and then any of the stray glue that kind of came up or separated while I was getting kind of rough and in there, I just kind of went and pulled out because I didn't want that coming off in the picture later. That silver lining color and some of that iridescent white, and I'm using those to blend into this purple here, and then I'll add more white and iridescent white onto the ends to give it more of that ombre faded effect. Now would probably be a good time to address and apologize for the length of this video. It is quite long and lengthy, but I wanted to leave everything in as far as the details go of what I'm doing on these canvases, because I do get a lot of questions after I put videos out, sometimes on the cuts and the edits that I make when I leave stuff out, because I think that sometimes maybe people might just be able to kind of finish it off in their mind, or it might be obvious, but maybe it's not so much to everyone. So I'm leaving that in. You can skip and fast forward to the end to the reveal if you want. I certainly won't be offended. I'm leaving this in here for those of you who really want the detailed look of everything that went into it, the mistakes that I made, everything that went back into it, any blending, reasons why, and whatever. So that's why this has gotten so long. And then also at the end, we do a handmade key where I draw and freehand sketch a key onto a piece of wood, and then my husband will cut that out, I'll paint it, and that goes up on the wall. And then I'm also going to be doing a custom sign for a wall that is custom to us. It will say the word forever. Sounds silly, but we're big fans of the movie Sandlot. It was from our age growing up when we were kids, and then we met as teenagers, so we kind of joked a lot when watching that movie and when I worked with kids and stuff. So anyways, the forever is a part of our wedding vows, the whole "I'll love you forever. Forever." It's silly, but it means something to us, so stay tuned and go to the end if you want to see that. I wanted to kind of ombre in a little bit of that navy blue that was in there before, but when I mixed this blue together, for some reason I used the wrong blue. So I had to go back and try to recorrect and fix that, because this one was just a little bit more teal, which I love the color teal, don't get me wrong. So I kind of kept a little bit of the teal hue in there, but I covered it with most of that navy blue there. So I pretty much fixed it, but yeah, see, lots of mistakes are happening. Lots. So I need to let these dry. I'm going to touch this up while I'm cooking dinner. I'll let that dry. The other one is still drying a little bit. We have the last one to work, and then we're going to put a little bit of our silver touch on this. So with the metallic pens that I got at the Dollar General, what I'm doing is I'm taking and I'm lightly or gently putting some and applying it right on the ridges of these canvases. So where any there are high points or peaks on here, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this silver. So I'm using the paintbrush to blend in any of the lines from the marker that maybe made it look a little too sleek or a little too fake. If that makes any sense. And so then I'll just kind of use that to blend it out or brush it out a little bit. And I also found it easier to use on this hot glue one because these hot glue strands were so skinny on some of them that the tip of the marker was just a little bit too wide. So on this other canvas, as you can see here, I'm blending it on these flat surfaces because I really wanted it to look a lot like Silverleaf. I couldn't get my hands on any Silverleaf for some reason in my town. None of our craft stores actually had it. I'm gonna have to order some, and I'll probably apply some to this later on, but for now I'm doing it this way. In order to get some of the ink out, what I did is I just kind of tapped the tip of the marker onto a piece of plastic or saran wrap, and I just dabbed it until a bunch of it kind of like came pooling out, and then I'm using that for my freehand portion, and then I'm keeping the marker in hand to go over the ridges. And then later on, what I decided to do was put some on a piece of saran wrap and let that kind of dry up so that I could kind of gather some little pieces or flakes later for the other canvases that I wanted. So I ended up letting that dry, letting it all kind of flake up, and I wrinkled up the paper, and then it all kind of fell off, almost like a glitter, but in larger shapes and different looking. I don't know, you'll see in a little bit. Here's just a close-up of me just going over these ridges or these bumps on these canvases where you can see that where I gave it that texture. So all of that tissue paper kind of dried up, and you can see that those wrinkles really gave me a place to put the marker, and it just kind of glides over the top of it. If any of the marker pieces just got a little bit too rounded or smooth on the edges, that's when I would just take the paintbrush and blend or smooth it out. But as you can see here, the wrinkles are good. Wrinkles, good. So again, here I'm just tapping the end of this ink pen or the metallic pen to try to get as much of the metallic paint out, because I want to create like a little patch here that I'm going to allow to dry so I can get those flakes off later. I tried doing this on wax paper, thinking that maybe the wax paper would make it a little bit easier to pull the like kind of peel it up after it had dried, but it didn't. It actually adhered to it a little bit better than the saran wrap. So I tried 2 different tests on this, and the saran wrap worked out best. So that's what we're going with. Here I'm just taking some of that silver that I dabbed out, and I'm taking a plastic bag and I've wrinkled it up, and I'm dabbing it in there, and I'm just kind of taking it like a stamp or a sponge and dabbing it right onto the canvas. I have a feeling you could probably do this the same with the sponge, but I just thought the sponge would be too absorbent and would take too much of the paint. And you see how quickly this paint dries. I really want to make the most of it. So on the silver. Let's look at the collection right now as is. Let's see what we have. Let's see. Let's try it a touch.
not sticking because there's nothing for it to adhere to at the moment. It's not like wet or anything. So I'm gonna get some clear polyacrylic and coat it over these two. Or maybe all. Polyacrylic, and this is one of my favorite products to use. I have a little popper offer thing. Okay, I got my popper offer. So the reason I like the polyacrylic is, I don't know if you see on this one, you see how it has this bluish tint to it? That's how I know it's going to have more of a clear finish and less of a yellowing effect. And so that's why I will always recommend polyacrylic over polyurethane. So just in my opinion. So now I want to give this more of a glossy finish, and I want those little specks to kind of stick, so I'm just going to go through here. But I don't want to get the stuff in my can, so I don't want to contaminate the can, so I'm going to do it like that. Just... Quiet, Bubba. Alright. So this excess, I'm going to slide off over here. Alright guys, so I think I'm going to let all of these dry. I might do another coat of polyacrylic on these two to give it an extremely high shine or finish, and then I will show you guys the final results.
To make this key, I took a piece of scrap board and I'm using something with an oval shape to trace to give me the top portion of the key, and then I'm using other random objects to give me straight edges and the square off those things to give me that designed and desired shape of the key. Then my hubby's going to cut it out, I'm going to sand it and paint it, and it's time to hang it up. That's it.
Alright guys, so that's it. Here is our display wall, and I put everything up. I went ahead and I made that with just some scrap wood that I had in the garage, painted it, used some stenciling, and I wrote the term forever, which I explained earlier. This is the key that we painted, and then the decor, and then popped these up. This I got at Target for just a couple of bucks. I put some more old flowers that we had laying around that are fake in these as well, because they kind of really matched the whole lilac lavender color scheme that we were going with. So what do you guys think? And it pretty much costed me nothing. I mean, I used a couple of the supplies I got at the Dollar General, but so maybe the paint pens, so $1, $2. Everything else I had on hand, so yay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in some of our next videos, which we have coming up, where I will be doing a polygel nail haul, where I'm trying polygel for the first time on my nails, and I love it. We also have our son's big boy bedroom makeover that we're working on, the rest of our boat series, the rest of this series for the master bedroom makeover, where I'm redoing the dresser and the nightstand. So there's a lot more videos to come your way, so I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.